Thanks for joining us. Now, students of the University of Education, Winneba, are taking their protest to town after several demonstrations on campus. Their action follows dismissal of some lecturers by the VC of the university. Here are excerpts of the protest on Tuesday.
These students of the Hypers department, yesterday we were there and we heard that for immediate past HOD, who is currently one of the best lecturers. As you can see, they couldn't even give me the chance to grant you this thing, because he's the lecturer that we say to be the best lecturer in the department. He is the one who has the better theology, is the one who teaches the soccer, first aid, and a lot of courses that we don't see any lecturer in this our department taking us through.
We had a call from our Dr. Jinapo that he is also sacked. That he was at the lecture hall teaching the level 400 face-to-face. He had a face-to-face with them, and he had a text message that he is sacked. He was then our HOD. When this man came on power, they stepped him down and brought another HOD. So we don't want our HOD. They should change our HOD and bring back our Jinapo. There's an intimidation affecting us.
The time that they have sacked the man is not good. The time, because if you check, we are now on 6th week of the whole semester. That means that we have some few days for semester quizzes. You see, so this one is going to affect the whole university, not only Hypers alone. So we are fighting. We are fighting to all the authorities that they should bring the man back. We need him. If not, something else will happen.
There are issues of ultimate importance in this university. Sacking a lecturer is not important.
Never.
There are issues that are very important in this university. This whole university, there's only a quarter of us that have been accommodated on campus. There is no executive president. There are issues that are impending. The security on campus is very poor. I'm telling you. This semester, this academic year, there is no executive president. There is no executive because the elections were boycotted by court. Court all the way. You see, we don't know what is happening. The thing is, communication to the students are very poor.
Correspondent Richard Kojo-Nyako has been speaking to the UTAG National President, Dr. Eric Opoku-Mensah, on the issue.
We as National UTAG waited patiently and got a copy of the judgment on the 25th of February 2019. So upon receipt of the legitimate document, we wrote formally to this university, to the management of the university, requesting that they give due recognition to these elected executives as a result of the outcome of the appeal case. We also wrote to the executive, Dr. Kecheduku, that now that the court had duly cleared him, he can hold himself as the duly elected president of UEW, and that the National Executive Committee of UTAG, just when we wrote that letter, then a day afterwards, an emergency meeting was held in this university. And the outcome of that meeting, Vice Chancellor signing a letter summarily dismissing him on a list of allegations that are unfounded. Look, we know what is going on. There is an attempt clearly to make sure that Dr. Kecheduku, one, doesn't hold himself as UTAG executive because they know what he can do with his office, and doesn't stay in this university as a lecturer. We as a national body doesn't recognize that decision that has been taken by the leadership of this university. Sure. And therefore, UTAG, together with other stakeholders, are going to do whatever is necessary to make sure that justice prevails in this university.
Let's speak live now to correspondent Richard Kojo-Nyako. Now, Richard, you said the students are taking the protest to town. What more information do you have?
Well, Daniel, you know that the university has 3 campuses, the North Campus, the Central Campus, and the South Campus. So at the North Campus, demonstrations are ongoing, and they are the ones that have taken the demonstration to town. So they took the demonstration to the South Campus that were having lectures. They disrupted all the lectures that were going on. In fact, the security presence, is helping put them in check, but they are facing it up with the police here. They've also gone to the central administration or central campus, and they disrupted all the lectures that were going on. Professor Sechibedu, who is at the Department for International Studies, says that what they are doing is clearly not good for the international and the national image of the university, because he was having a meeting with some Germans and other foreign nationals at the department, and then they came to disrupt everything. Now they have hit the town. They are clad in red. They are holding sticks and they are holding pure water, and occasionally they will be spraying the pure water on people that they meet on the street. And so that's currently what is going on. On the update of UTAG, last night the UTAG had a crunch meeting with all their executives from the various campuses, and they came to a conclusion that the Vice Chancellor of the University of Education, Winneba, should be removed, Professor Anthony Afo-Broni, and they are also calling for an immediate reinstatement of the over 30 teaching and non-teaching staff that have been dismissed under this present administration. So that is the update from the camp of the National Union of Teachers, University Teachers Association of Ghana. Has the Vice Chancellor or the University Council spoken? Well, they have not spoken. What we have is that they have served notice that they will, the Governing Council will have a press conference on Friday to address all of these matters. But it does not appear that you can, they are happy about whatever is going on, because they feel that there are some sinister motive that is being orchestrated, and they are urging the students to demonstrate against the university authority. Thank you very much, Richard Kojo-Nyako. Now, a Ghanaian businessman based in Norway has dragged a top police officer to court for alleged unlawful demolition of his uncompleted 5-bedroom house in Accra. The businessman, Abdul Razak Yusuf, is accusing Chief Superintendent Bafor Apinting of abuse of office for using his position to terrorize him and destroy his property without a court order. But the police officer says the structure that was destroyed was an uncompleted building. He says he did not need a court order because the building was on his land. Maxwell Agbakba has more.
It was a 5-bedroom.
I've met Abdul Razak Yusuf on the land where he put up the building. He has been here many times since the structure was pulled down, but says he's always in a state of disbelief anytime he visits to see his property reduced to rubble.
When he came in, luckily for me, one of my guys was here. So he hid and he got the video of his vehicle and the bulldozer entering my property to destroy my property. And he came with 4 or 5 police officers.
Razak says the police officer abused his office by using his position and power to destroy his building without any authorization from a court.
I want justice to take its course. Ghana is a justice country. It says freedom and justice. There's a freedom, but justice is there. If you think you have freedom to do anything, it's for everybody. You can have your freedom, but justice prevails at the end of the day. But you can't use your uniform to intimidate people. This is power, because I will not challenge a police officer coming to my property with guns. I will never challenge him. I care about my life. This is who comes here. I will not fight him. I will not. No, I will never do that. You have to respect the uniform. It's a Ghana uniform. You have to respect Ghana's image. What I can do is what I have done. There's the petition. I follow the law. I believe in the law. Law, it takes time, but the truth will come out. So I will not do anything. But I know he's using his uniform to intimidate me, to do what he wants to do. He's doing what he wants to do. He's not doing what the law says he should do. And somebody comes onto my property, or somebody's on my property, I'll do the right thing. Take him to court, let the court rule, and tell him, oh, this is the issue. My brother, I'm a lawyer, I'm a police officer, I don't want any problem. So I'll take you to the law, and the law will decide. But you see your veto power, destroy my properties, what do you want me to do? I can't fight him.
The police officer, who is also a lawyer, says the structure that was destroyed is just a footing or an uncompleted building. He says he does not need a court order because the building was on his land.
I don't need a court order. If I have my land, go to section 39 of the criminal code. The use of force, where the use of force is justified. Go and read it. If you know this is your property and a registered taxi property, I don't need a court order. I was looking for the owner to come. I will not wait for him to finish building before I say I will go to court and do that. I am going by the section 39 of our criminal code.
But don't you think your action would have been justified if you had gotten an order from the court?
I'm saying that I am coming.
Now, away from that, it's now been 209 days since Priscilla Blessing Bintum, the first of the 3 females believed to have been kidnapped in Takoradi, disappeared. There's also Ruth Love Kwesen, who has been gone for 100 days, and Priscilla Mantibia Kranche, gone for 83 days. Joy News has been waging a campaign for weeks now to pile pressure on authorities to find the girls. Our Western Region correspondent Nathalia Kwanzaa has been finding out how family, close friends and teachers of the 3 ladies are coping as they wait for their return.
On that fateful Saturday, I called her more than 50 times, but no response. And that was when I was told that Priscilla has been kidnapped. She was a good girl and an ardent Manchester United fan who is full of life. These were the exact words of Pakwesi Asian, who is a close friend of one of the 3 kidnapped Takoradi girls, Priscilla Blessing Bintum, who is a final year student at the University of Education, Winneba. Pakwesi is still struggling to comprehend the sudden disappearance of her friend and cannot resist looking at these pictures over and over again in an attempt to forget the friend is nowhere near him.
So on that Saturday, I called like more than 50 and there was no answer. And later on I found out that she was kidnapped. But during that week, on the Tuesday, she came to my place. We spoke for a while, but then she was repairing her phone at some Shopee. So like we went there and she even bought me food and stuff, but I couldn't hear from her again. Yeah, so these days, like anytime that I want to remember, I just look at a picture on my phone, then it's a sad story.
This is one of the many sad stories friends and family members of the 3 missing Takoradi girls continue to share aside the emotional trauma they go through every day, all in the wait for a possible return of these girls.
So we would not say, I mean, we son of a baby, my this one match to we said, but women doing the man.
Here at Secondary College, here in the Western Region, this is where Priscilla Mantibia Kranche, the 3rd victim who was kidnapped on the 21st of December, attended school before the unfortunate incident. She was part of the gold students, and she is expected to be back in school on the 11th of May this year. I'm here to interact with the assistant headmaster of administration.
As a school, we were saddened by the unfortunate incident because she is a young girl who has been brought here to pursue her home economics program, and unfortunately some bad people have kidnapped her for whatever reason that they have. And so we received the news with very sad mood. And then it affected us a lot because at a point in time when they were supposed to be writing their class tests and exams and whatever, and you feel that your student is out there not knowing what is actually happening to her and what she is going through, it wasn't easy for us as a school. I want to use this opportunity to appeal to those in authority that they should expedite action on whatever that we can do so that we get our girls back. We are in the 2nd semester of Form 1, and within 2 months we'll finish with the 2nd semester, and this girl is still in 1st semester and she did only 2 months. So please help us to bring back our girls.
Everyone is hoping against hope that Priscilla comes back and join her colleagues. For Joy News, I am Nathalia Kwanzaa, Secondary College, Western Region.
Now, 2 days to Christmas, 9-year-old Christina Ayigba was knocked down at Opekuma Junction in Kaswa. She was rushed to the Kaswa Polyclinic but was declared dead on arrival. Her death has angered residents who believe she would be alive if the traffic lights at the junction were functional. The lights installed 2 years ago have not functioned since installation, leaving pedestrians at the mercy of speeding vehicles. Enraged residents are demanding an immediate action from authorities concerned. Joy News' Faustina Safo visited the family of Christina Ayigba and reports they are still in shock months after her demise.
Quiet distant and distressed. Words that best describe the countenance of Mr. Hope Aigba, father of late Christiana Aigba, at the time of my visit. He fought back tears as he described the relationship he had with his daughter before her passing.
She was schooling at Peculiar International School. She was at grade 5 by then, yes. She is the kind of person who is always seen everywhere. I mean, she's the extrovert type. Yeah, she's not the quiet type. She's always with me. We do everything together. We even share the same shirt.
9-year-old Christiana Aigba was knocked down by a speeding vehicle. She was so hard hit, she was thrown more than 100 feet from where the car hit her. The driver, who was on phone whilst driving, claimed she did not notice the pedestrian traffic light had signaled green and that her attention was on the dysfunctional secondary traffic light ahead. Mr. Hope Aigba recounts he was at Ablikma for a business transaction when he heard the news.
When I heard the news, I know it was a minor accident, so she'll be fine. Until I got to the hospital, only for me to be told that she's no more. I met a colleague at the entrance. So he told me that my daughter is late and that I should take heart. Right. So I requested to see her. So I was taken to where she was. I saw her and then she was lifeless. She was lifeless.
Christiana Aigba died on the 23rd of December and was buried 7 days later. Since her demise, her family has been trying to move on, but Mr. Hope says it's been difficult.
I always feel her presence because we share the same shirts. Every morning she will wear my shirt, perform her house chores before she goes to school. So as soon as you even see the shirt, memories of her keeps popping up. So it will be difficult for you to do away with her memories. It's just not easy.
Few meters away from their house is a junction where Christiana was knocked down. Months after her death, the secondary traffic light is still not functioning. Local drivers who spoke to Joy News say majority of accidents that occur on that stretch are caused by new road users who are not aware of the traffic light situation.
Traffic lights in the since one boy in Jumada, and this is a kakituaba in a lane side. And this will be free
Since they mounted the traffic lights,
who's our traffic light?
It worries
me. By the time other car no be Gina or no be Hun and Tamajinan or no which in Uhu, nor the other bonnet.
A higher part because when Baba was away, I didn't say when I walk on, but Baba on a different car, Abba Crosso. Suddenly the accident about Hopper.
Yeah, my driver has any day. Yeah, the name say.
We the local drivers are aware the secondary traffic light is not functioning, so we know how to maneuver our way around it. But first-time users are not aware, so that's what causes the accidents.
Angry residents want the district authorities to fix it.
Accidents are common at this junction. I've witnessed 4 myself.
Yes, somebody say, better my adum. Now, want to mean yes, friend is saying traffic light, and when because we are all contributing, we are all pay tax. You understand? We all pay tax. So all this help drivers to move and then they stop the road accident.
We are begging. You people should do something for us, especially our next generation. We have chopped our life finish, but that doesn't mean the next generation should not survive. They can't be killing our children on this road.
Few meters away from Opekma Junction is CP Junction. Here, the traffic lights are functional, but drivers say they are not visible. I am told an accident occurred involving a tipper truck. The truck veered off the road, hitting the traffic light pole, dislocating it instantly.
Traffic in this say, you know, call 1 year or more may my dear Sahara says school said what down hanging now.
It's been a year since the incident occurred, but authorities have done nothing. Cars keep knocking down children and even pregnant women here.
How many more lives must be lost before authorities fix the traffic light? I met with Assemblyman for Pekman Nanaya Mwafu, who assures the traffic light will be fixed by the close of this week.
I was informed and I called the urban roads engineer. The urban roads engineer said he will contact the other authorities so that they will come and have a look at it. And I called him about 2 days ago. And he said he has informed them. So the Obamas come by the end of this very week. The Obamas come and do it.
Faustina Safo, Joy News, Kaswa.
Power Distribution Services, PDS Ghana, the new company which took over from Electricity Company of Ghana, said Tuesday night's major blackout was due to technical challenges. PDS in a statement said a power supply from Malam bulk supply points and Graphic Road was curtailed, resulting in a total blackout in most parts of the capital. Quote, this has caused power outage within the western and central parts of Accra. Immediately the situation is rectified, power supply will be restored to affected customers. The inconvenience is very much regretted, unquote. Areas such as Odoko, Dakoman, La Paz, Enya, Abeka La Paz, Soutium, Kaswa, Tema, Kwashiman, Aoshi, and parts of northern Ghana were without power during the evening. Power was restored Wednesday dawn. Still live on Joy News today with me, Daniel Daze. Stay with us. Glad you stayed with us. Now, the coalition of civil society groups in Ghana has backed calls for investigations into the activities of a militia group linked to the governing New Patriotic Party, the I Group. The group was found to have been operating from the Christian Ball Castle in Joy News documentary Militia in the Heart of the Nation. It's been 6 days since the documentary was broadcast, and there have been calls from Parliament, security experts, academia, and some Ghanaians for thorough investigations into the activities of the group. Though government, through its ministers, has attempted to underestimate the impact of the expose, the accounts have been only conflicting. The executive director for the Institute of Democratic Governance, Dr. Emmanuel Akwete, believes the bilateral talks must begin with a technical facilitator because high emotions may stall the process.
Meeting not coming off quickly is an institutional problem, is a structural problem. You see, the president spoke as head of state. The instrument for the head of state to call parties to dialogue, okay, and those who put the process forward quickly for the talk is usually the civil service. The party machinery or bureaucracy is not equipped for this kind of assignment. No, they can't. So the expectation that immediately it was said they are quickly coming up and so on, they do not have that bureaucracy, both parties. What makes me so optimistic is that it still can be done. That's why we talked about technical facilitation. We believe strongly that bilateral talks is very important. It has to start. I think that civil society organizations with the competence to do this, some have been involved in promoting peace in other countries, in war zones, and so let them come together and start talking to the two parties. We don't belong to either. They are important to our democracy. It is important that the talk takes place because it's going to open up to so many other things that would strengthen the system. So how do we go? You cannot say the president is stalling it. Actually, the president doesn't have the machinery to convene it. And the parties don't have the machinery.
So the NDC writes to the president.
It's good. The NDC, in fact, the way they wrote and so on, actually demonstrated their commitment. But it doesn't answer or fill the gap of the machinery, administrative machinery that ought to have been there, trusted by both, to put the thing in place. We need the dialogue like oxygen in our democracy. We have to talk. We have to really get to the eye of the matter. You know, not just scuttle around. So I still think that his first preference, logically speaking, is the best one. But For us, from our analysis, the challenge is it is not for the two parties to convene themselves because of their history. Okay, yes, when sometimes they tell you that in Parliament we talk together, we work together 95% of the time. It's only when we disagree that the media puts it out. But we have also done research on Parliament and decision making. And what we found is that when matters are controversial, the probability that the parties will fall apart and not dialogue or boycott each other, it's so high. I think the president is in a hurry. You know, if you read the statement and how quickly he said, I have this route. If the talks come off, it could go very fast because the two parties already have decided that they want to talk about militias, and the direction the society wants, those who mandate them, is disband them.
Realistically, when the meeting happens, how much time should we give ourselves?
No, you see, it's a new experience. If we have to also be patient. If we are going to rush the process, often we rush the process that reasoning doesn't prevail. And you see, as a country, I can tell you, we've made very serious mistakes when we spend billions of cedis on events. Biometric register. In 2012, we went for biometric register because we said there's double voting. But the problems around integrity of elections and the ballot and the vote and so on also had to do with our allegations or suspicion that people cross the borders, you know, all over to vote. And we don't see them as Ghanaians. We didn't have this national ID card and so on and so forth. Yet, if we had painstakingly analyzed the problems that undermine the integrity of elections, we would have seen that biometric alone wasn't enough. But we went to biometric. We spent over 200 million, and then we had the worst crisis over election results.
Development, a group consisting of women in their 60s claiming to be members of the I and NPP group have given Multimedia's Manasseh Azuriawini 1 week to clear the militia tag put on them or face their wrath. Margaret Owusu, 65, who claims to be president of the group in Ashanti region, says the group is more of a peace-brokering, team-building force within the party rather than a militia. Let's go to Erastus Asare-Donko, who has been engaging them. Good afternoon, Erastus. Tell us more about these women.
Well, good afternoon, Daniel. So we had information this morning that the members of the I group in the Ashanti region are meeting the press. And so we went to meet them. And we met the woman who says she is their president, one Margaret Owusu, who gives her age at 65. There were two other women as well who looked 60s, in their 60s as well. We understand that there were more of them, like over 20, who came in vehicles but had left when we went in there. In an interview with her, she says that, well, she admits that there are vigilante groups within the NPP and the NDC. She mentions Delta Force, for example, but she says that their group, the I, was formed way back in 2008. They have been doing philanthropic activities, and there is no vigilante notion around them.
Now, Erastus, did she explain why the I group had a website on which is displayed that it was a private security organization?
Well, I asked the same question, and she says that, well, she doesn't know of any website. I also asked of why they were staying at the castle. He says, well, her answer strictly was that they've been sweeping there. They've been keeping the place very tidy. They were meeting there previously, but now they are not even there. But what she thinks is that the I in the Ashanti region, they have been engaging in philanthropic activities. That's what she knows the I stands for. She does not know the I stands for any vigilante activity or any type of force that is within the NPP. She was asking me whether I've heard that the I has been engaged in any atrocity of some sort, or they've been engaged in any shootout or anything since its inception.
Erastus,
so they are a peaceful group.
Erastus, in her submission, did she in any way separate the I in Ashanti region from the national organization which is behind the website and was training at the Osu Castle?
No, she didn't. And in fact, she made it emphatic that Nana Repon, who formed the group, was with them. He's the same person who formed the group in the Ashanti region and made her the president. They are both the same organization, and she thinks that it's the same activity that they are doing in the Ashanti region. That is what they are doing in Accra.
Thank you, Erastus Asari Donko, for that update from the Ashanti region. Now, here is a compilation of our story so far on disbanding party militias from the Ayawaso West Wogon by-election to the CFI call yesterday. Still live on Joy News today with me, Daniel Dazina. After these messages in business, the Ministry of Aviation has set up an independent accident investigation unit to improve upon safety within the airline industry. Stay with us.